So thank you all for coming. It's really wonderful to be here. And normally how I get started is I just give a little intro about where I get my information from. And, well, you can see life experience and soul journey. That's, I think, where a lot of us get our information. When you really just tune into what's going on around you, we get quite the education just from our life experience. And recognizing the deeper soul journey, you know, waking up to just knowing that there's some sort of calling or mission. I was well aware of that as a child. So there was a lot of realizations and epiphanies along the way, lots of dot connecting, especially when I was trained as a wilderness expedition guide. I just really learned a lot about just the planetary consciousness and our interaction with nature, and just the magic and connection, you know, based on like the vibration we carry and how we interact. And then I've done a lot of dot connecting with whistleblower testimony and research and cosmic mythology studies. I'm an astrologer by day and studied a bit of Keylontic science. And some of my information comes from Ascension Glossary, Lisa Renee, which is website energeticsynthesis.com. So yeah, she's a really good friend of mine, and her information, when I came across it, it was just like goosebumps, and it was very parallel. And we get a chance to talk on occasion and just really put our minds and hearts together and have a very similar mission together, and apart, of course. So it's just kind of like a hodgepodge of research and my own epiphanies and intuitive insights based on my personal journey. So this presentation has a lot to do with our origins, some things around, you know, our galactic history and some of the wars, and how that's led us to where we are today. So I'm just going to kind of run through some things in the beginning to sort of set the stage to begin to just kind of look at, you know, the roots of what's been going on and where we are right now with it all. So the cradle of Lyra, that's dimensions 10, 11, 12. That's when we really held avatar consciousness. And the Lyran system got attacked. And there were wars that stepped down into the Orion Wars. So when the cradle of Lyra was destroyed in the Lyran Wars with Orion groups, this is when the destruction of the avatar level of consciousness took place. This ended up playing out in massive galactic wars between those who seek power at the expense of others, which would be considered service to self, and those who hold unity consciousness and maintain sacred union, which is more service to others. With the humans that were created being caught in the middle of it, left with the challenge of a choice about which to align with. Some things, though, are beyond choice when a planet ends up blowing up, like Tiamat, which threw us into a lower density experience. So anytime you're on a planetary body that blows up, I mean, we're part of the planetary consciousness. So we hold that trauma and that fragmentation that results in something like that exploding. So when we look at the asteroid belt, which is between Mars and Jupiter, we've got a 5D asteroid belt, which is Tiamat, and then a 3D asteroid belt, which is Maldek, which is the counterpart to Tiamat. So when Tiamat exploded, Maldek and the Earth resulted. And I've been doing a lot of research trying to, you know, understand it all. So, you know, take what resonates and leave the rest. We can only come as close to the truth as possible. We all have our own versions and resonance with whatever, you know, feels right. But my goal is just to throw out enough, and then, you know, everybody can kind of figure out a way for it to make sense within. So it's not always going to be the same. But if we can just awaken enough of our cellular memory, you know, we can at least start to call in these fragmented aspects and hopefully, you know, be activated by some of these, you know, memories. Even though it might not be 100% accurate, it's about as close as I can possibly get after doing, you know, just a lot of research, especially connected to Maldek, Tiamat. So, but the most important thing that we know is that this is when the sacred union started to get really, you know, out of whack. Tiamat was mythologically associated with Apsu, so they held like the sacred union balance, and Tiamat's a Sophionic planet. So when that exploded, this whole kind of Akamoth thing, this whole Sophia thing becoming more interactive with this Earth experience, and us sinking into this lower density where the goddess energy actually morphed into the physical planet to give us the unconditional love that we've needed to be able to get back to source. Because there's been so much hybridization and manipulation that has separated us from true source, that we've been sort of, you know, in this digression for thousands of years, not at our full potential where we hold that avatar consciousness. So we all have dormant DNA, 12-strand and beyond, that this whole process of integration and rebalancing can start to light up and start to heal.